Hey Spectrum, welcome back to Noise News.
I'm Preston.
And I'm Tyler.
And we will be anchoring the show this week since our anchors are on spring break too.
To start things off, let's look at a story about changes to RTI this year.
Sounds interesting. Over to you, Arik and Josh.
In our school, there are many different things offered to us day by day. One thing that all students use is RTI. But what exactly is RTI?
RTI is response to intervention. It's a strategy that our school uses. Many schools use this to help students be successful.
So teachers have the opportunity to select those students the way we run the system on Wednesday through Fridays, typically on a typical school week, and select those students that they feel need a little extra help with that material that they maybe misunderstood the first time that the teacher went through it.
RTI has been around longer than we may have thought.
It actually started conceptually in the 70s and 80s, and the goal of it way back then was to figure out a way to approach some of the issues between general education and special education.
Every day, besides Mondays, students are placed into an RTI session.
Teachers make their selection of students based upon data that they're collecting through formative assessment. So if you take a quiz in a teacher's class and you performed poorly on it or you didn't do as well in certain sections of it, they take all of that data, they clump it together, they organize that data, they analyze that data, and then they group students according to their performance on that formative assessment piece.
They might be selected because they have late work. They might be selected because they've been absent. They might get selected because a teacher is doing some kind of reteaching or some kind of enrichment option.
On top of teachers selecting students, students may select where they go depending on their specific needs.
Students can best utilize RTI also by being selective of their teachers, meaning after the window closes for teachers to select students, which usually we ask them to be done selecting students on Mondays. So on Tuesdays, I think students are able to go in and actually select a specific teacher.
It basically just helps me with being able to have somewhere that I can get my excess homework done so I'm not as stressed when I get home, or just to have fun with friends, because for Ruzik's Big Ideas, you get to just debate about stuff the entire time, which is a lot of fun.
Some upperclassmen at Spectrum High School have perks, which allows students more choices for RTI.
So I guess what I would say about that is there's another benefit to an RTI system that, and the kind of RTI system that we run, and really what it is that if you're a student that is performing really well in classes, you have some freedom and some opportunity in regard to your perks.
I request off campus for Wednesdays and Fridays, and on Thursdays I request the CCC because I don't have a last hour study hall on Wednesdays or Fridays, so I can just leave and go home. Yeah. It's pretty convenient because it's at 12:25. So basically I just come to school in the mornings and then I get to leave and then I get my whole afternoon to myself.
But students with perks obviously have the opportunity to maybe go off of campus, get something to eat, get something to drink. They also have the opportunity to hang out in the College and Career Center. So those are benefits to the system that we run here at Spectrum 2.
When choosing where you go for RTI, make sure you get help in academics if you need it. If not, then enjoy your time and relax. This has been Arik and Josh, Noise News.
Thanks, crew. And to end off the short show today, let's review March Madness. Take it away, Joe and JD.
March Madness is an unpredictable time of the year when fans are creating a perfect NCAA tournament bracket.
These professionals or guys in college are eventually going to go pro that just do things that are crazy.
I do watch the NCAA March Madness, mainly because of how intense they play. I feel in the NBA, honestly, they don't play as hard, especially on defense, but in this tournament, there's so many upsets, and it just makes it pretty entertaining.
Kind of watch a lot of games in one sitting, especially that first Thursday through Saturday. Really kind of sparked my interest for the game when I was switching sports from hockey to basketball.
There are many tournament twists each round when surviving an upset.
Well, there's always a 5-12 upset. Oral Roberts is playing Duke, and I know they're pretty good at shooting, so I think that'd be really interesting seeing if Oral Roberts can pull it off. I think if that happens, that'll be the most exciting one of the tournament.
I think that Purdue will lose very early. I have them losing in the second round to the 8 or 9 seed. I can't remember exactly, but they're a Big Ten team, and I just know you can never trust Big Ten team.
What I would say is everyone wants like the 15, 16 seed to win that first game, and as we found out, it happened a few times this year. But for me, it's more of, from a coaching perspective, it's the kind of the types of teams, whether it's a big man dominated team or it's a guard dominated team, how they kind of interact against each other and how coaches have to strategize. Those are the things I enjoy, and those are the more like the upsets I look for. But it's all fun. It's all just basketball.
March Madness is a variable game based on luck with dedication and stats.
No, I think the national championship's always the most exciting game to watch, just for the fact that like there's no game that anyone wants any more than that one. It's the biggest stage, everyone's watching, and it's got the most glory in it. So every single national championship I've ever watched is always back and forth.
I think the most exciting matchup I heard on the TV while I was watching, they really liked the Texas A&M and thought they were underrated. So I think a Texas A&M versus Texas in the second round could be fun.
It doesn't matter really where you're ranked or like what people think of you. I mean, you see 15 seeds knock off 2 seeds. You see in the last couple of years you saw a 16 seed beat a 1 seed. And you see these teams that no one's ever heard of go and knock off a big name school.
I definitely learned some things from the players when I was younger, watching them just how hard they worked and definitely their style of play. I learned the things that improved my basketball game from watching it.
You have to show up, and if you don't, any team can win on any given night.
A perfect bracket is impossible compared to winning a lottery. This has been JD and Joe.
Thanks, crew. Well, Spectrum, that's all the news we have for this week.
This has been Tyler
and Preston,
keeping you in on the noise. How about the story?
That's it. Walked over here and was like,
quiet on set. And
scene. I'm not standing back in the freaking roast.
Hey Spectrum, welcome back to Noise News.
Alright.
Hey Spectrum, welcome back to Noise News.
I'm Preston.
And I'm Tyler.
Oh my gosh, I forgot it.
How do you even...
the paper?
How am I not messing up?
Well, Spectrum, that's all the noise we have for this week. Noise.